Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Cancer. So, Cancer, as usual, I'm doing your reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So Cancer, today the message that is showing up for you here is very simple, one that has to do with one of your main characteristics, which is your sensitivity and your intense ability to feel everything, feel your emotions, feel your relationships, feel the world. But it also has to do with the fact that perhaps because you're not able to pinpoint straight away the source of this feeling or the source of this discomfort, it seems like it's like your first attempt in dealing with this is taking a matter of the heart to your head. And so symbolically, what this talks about is that perhaps you have an emotional trigger, an emotional issue that you're trying to resolve through your logic, through your mind. And it's interesting because all of this is coming from the King of Cups. So the King of Cups, traditionally is a card that talks about like this emotional intelligence, how you reach this point of knowing how to navigate through human emotions that, it's a challenging thing. It's something that, we all struggle with. Cancer, most of all. I know that because I'm a Cancer myself. So, maybe feeling too much can be your best quality, but also maybe sometimes be perceived as your curse. Maybe you perceive like that. Sometimes I've questioned that myself. But, this has to do with this process that you are going through right now, Cancer, that is in the direction of achieving this emotional success, this emotional intelligence. So it seems like whatever situation you are right now, that you're trying to think about it, that you're trying to process it with your mind instead of really trying to just sink into the feeling, right? And this is the guidance here, by the way. But it has to do with also the fact that you know how far you've come, right? It's like the only cards that are, apart from the two major arcana and the minor arcana, this is the only core card, and it's the King, and it's beginning the reading. So this is representing how you have already leveled up in terms of dealing with your emotions, dealing with your feelings. But it's almost like maybe this is like you have been, recently in this position where you know how to deal with this, especially because the reading is pointing to the fact that you have found a specific tool that helps you in finding or locating the source of this feeling that is bothering you. So, yes, the first thing that you do perhaps is to take something that is coming from the heart or it's coming from the realm of the emotions into your mind, it's like trying to consciously become aware of how you're feeling, if that makes sense. But then with the Five of Pentacles, this card to me talks about location. And yes, it talks about this X on the map, but the map in this case for you, Cancer, today is your own body. So your physical vessel is kind of like storing up this it's like this emotional well, right? Your body is this emotional well, and sometimes it can overflood with your emotions in a sense. So, but you're trying to keep it cool because it's like you're taking it to your mind. So it's like you're not, it's interesting what I'm seeing right now. It's like if if you were going to deal with this situation in terms of just letting it happen, it's almost like your heart would just drown in this emotional, tidal wave. But it's like when you do this, because this is a very mature thing to do, right? It's like now you are aware that you can do something to not let yourself drown in your own emotions. So when you do so, it's like you're becoming aware of how your feelings don't have to control you. So it's like you can locate them and you can do something about them, right? So this is talking about location, but location in the body. So once you locate where in your body this is coming from, it seems like it's like this is the first step. This is the first thing that you, as this very conscious human being, sensitive human being, it's like that's how you deal with your emotional processes. This is how you process it, but not forgetting about like, because what this the king here wants to be practical. For some reason it's tying in a little bit with the King of Pentacles, although it's the King of Cups, but it's like it's trying to be practical with your emotions, right? Because the Five of Pentacles is here. So it's like, you know, that if you do this, it's like you can aid yourself maybe quicker, because you do have the perfect tool to resolve that or to cope with that. Because what the Five of Pentacles is showing up as is a band-aid, like a physical band-aid that it's almost like you have to know where it's hurting or where this emotion is coming from, right? It's like it's not judging the emotion. It's not labeling what it is, or, putting some sort of good or bad into your emotion. It's just locating, because what the Judgment card next is talking about is that once you find where it is in your body, it's like you can use this tool of judgment, of discernment, to treat it, to heal it. So I know this is not a typical card for healing, the Magician, but today for you it is, because of the cards that are coming before. So once you know that you have this emotional maturity, or you are in the way of, acquiring a lot of emotional maturity through this emotional intelligence process, that you are learning how to properly use it, it's like, that there is this first step that is crucial, that you have to turn to your body to locate it. And once you do, it's like it's a matter of, because these are the two major arcana of the reading, and they're together because it has to do with you turning to the body but going beyond the body, right? It's through the physical vessel, but it's beyond the physical vessel. So this tool, it's almost like it's kind of like a magical tool. This might be the title of the reading. There is a magical tool, Cancer, that you discover in your own process of maturation, in a sense, emotional growth, that you understand that in order to treat the body, you have to treat your emotions. You have to treat this more sensitive side of yours. So it goes from the Five of Pentacles to these two major arcana that are, it's kind of like this blessing from the universe that talks about not paying too much attention to how much progress comes through in the physical body, although it's important that you pay attention to the body in the beginning, but don't stay, stuck in the fact that your body will show the healing process first. It's almost like it happens last, to be honest, but first it's like this emotional settling down. The fives to me talk about integrity, the physical integrity and the emotional integrity in this case. But the integrity here talks about you not hiding away from what you're feeling. You're not trying to push it away or push it aside or trying to, run away from it anyways. It's like you you know that you have enough maturity, enough consciousness and awareness about your sensitivity to know that it has its own values, but also its own challenges in a way, right? Knowing how to deal with this requires a lot of maturity, and you do have. So, and this is also the reason why you are being given by the universe, because the magician talks about this magical healing, right? This it's kind of like this, maybe we're talking about another type of healing treatment that is beyond, you know, what doctors have to offer, in a sense. You see what I mean? But it requires a lot of discernment, because it's like it is going to affect the body, but not just the physical body, most of all the emotional body, which is what you're trying to get to, right? It's like, it is like the source of this pain or the hurt or the discomfort is the emotional body. It is stored in the physical, or is felt most of all in the physical, but the way to treat it, the way to heal it is where it's coming from, which is the emotional realm. So the only possible treatment in this case, what the cards are saying, Cancer, is that you have to look to different alternatives, right? To using your tool of discernment to look for solutions that are beyond what you can see, because the results are not going to be apparent at first. They're going to be felt. This is what the magician is talking about. The magician is saying that once you locate where it is, and you know, because I was talking about this card, this first card, you know, how you're taking this matter of the heart to your mind to process it with your mental capacity, but it is a matter of the heart at the end of the day. So it's like, go back to the source of this matter and you'll get to the point. Yes, it is located in the body, but you do have discernment enough to know that this is somewhere else in terms of visibility, right? It doesn't need to be seen, because I often say that the magician keeps a few secrets inside this hat. So there are things that the magician is not going to reveal, at least not yet, but it lets, you know, us see a little bit of, you know, glimpses of the magic. It's almost like you're not going to be able to see the full picture, the entire magic happening, because the physical body is not going to show straight away. However, the emotional body is going to settle in a lot quicker, right? This is what the Five of Cups is talking about. It has nothing to do with the traditional Five of Cups. It has to do with you feeling more integrated. Because these cards were like this, right? So it's like you settling in through the emotions into your physical body. So that's the reason why the first step has to be through the physical body to reach the emotional body. So with this magician, and it's beautiful because this magician wants to come through as like a voice of wisdom, voice of experience. So it's like this type of higher self voice that you hear, maybe you intuit, like, because you're so skilled in terms of feelings, you know how much you feel. It's like maybe one of your best tools, one of the best resources that you have at hand right now is to use your discernment and distinguish what is really like just an emotional reaction to something, you know, some sort of temporary issue, or like the voice of magic, the voice of the universe, the voice of your higher self. Because what this is pointing towards is the Five of Cups. So it's like you can differentiate, you know, the necessity to see with your own eyes where this is, bothering you, and just the feeling of once you locate it and you pass through this process of discerning everything that you're feeling, it's almost like the preoccupation with the physical extent at which this is, reaching or just expressing. It's like it's going to dissolve. You're not going to feel as preoccupied with the physical body as perhaps you begin this with. It's like you will know that emotionally it is going to be healed. It is going to pass through this process of this magical healing, this magical treatment. And so here is where the first signs, the first manifestations of the healing in the physical sense begin to come through. So it feels like it takes a little bit of time, maybe not a lot of time, if you just feel into your body, your physical body first, and then your emotional body. It's like you're studying your own emotions, but through the body. It's like you're understanding your various bodies. You see what I mean? So the Seven of Pentacles coming next, this is talking about assessment with your emotional intelligence, with your ability to discern, with your power, the power that you have in your hands, right? This tool is very powerful, but it requires discernment. It requires it's like this ability to be fair with yourself, not to punish yourself or to, what is that word? Self-sabotage, right? It's like you have to be discerning to that extent. It's like to not bring yourself down when you are in this process of resolving an issue, or just, repairing something inside yourself, or just recuperating overall. So the Seven of Pentacles is this physical assessment, but it's interesting because if you see here, we have the Five of Pentacles inside the Seven of Pentacles. The difference is that we have, these two extra pentacles that are coming to fill the gaps. So in a sense, and it's interesting, the play of words, right? It's like you have to feel, in terms of feeling, but this filling of the gaps. I have to know if I expressed that correctly, but I hope I did. So you have to feel into the body to know where the gaps are. And then once you go to the emotional body, it's like you can start dissolving the preoccupation with the physical body, and then the body will regenerate itself. It's like it will create cells that are going to, like, white cells, or, it's like your immune system is going to be, just boosted in a sense because of the physical and emotional assessment of the thing that you're dealing with right now. So your body, it's like your body has its own intelligence. It's just a matter of you understanding the power of your emotional intelligence. So once you do that, it quickly regenerates, right? This assessment is what is giving the signs, or providing the manifestations of how you're going to perceive this healing in the body as well, in the physical body as well, not just the emotional body. And to end here this part of the reading, Cancer, with the Three of Pentacles, it seems like this is a great teamwork in a sense. This is the traditional meaning of the Three of Pentacles. But what I was seeing with the Three of Pentacles being following the Seven of Pentacles is that once the gaps are filled, in terms of maybe you're feeling lack of something, right? Maybe that's the feeling that you're dealing right now, something that you're lacking, or maybe you not finding your place in the world, or maybe you thinking that you're not capable of locating where this pain is coming from, right? But again, use your discernment. You have the tools, you have this ability, you have this power, you have a great help of like this voice of wisdom that is coming from the Magician to guide you and to you know, after this process, it's like you will start to see progress. You will start to see how things are evolving in the physical as well. So once your body starts to regenerate itself, it's almost like it's going to work in its own logic, right? What this is talking about is like this triangulation. Sometimes I see the threes as like this triangulation, as like some sort, well, because the threes talk about co-creation. Maybe I should have mentioned that in the beginning. So this co-creation in the physical, that's the reason why I'm talking also about teamwork, but it's not teamwork with others. It's more like with your heart, with your consciousness, with, you know, you kind of like accepting help from the universe, receiving this powerful tool that is guiding your own process of like developing your discernment, and how in the end it's like it has its own mechanism, it has its own way of working that is very, it's very natural. It's almost like your own body is just resolving its own issues by itself. I don't know if that makes sense. It's almost like, you know, when you cut yourself, it's like your own cells of the body are going to, you know, work for healing. It's like healing is the direction of this group work in a sense, right? I hope that makes sense, Cancer. But it seems like it is, you know, this entire message, at least here in the first part, is talking about this process of developing your emotional abilities, the way that you cope with your feelings. But most of all, it's not just coping to, you know, be okay with them, but it's like it's using it to heal yourself so that you can feel how this healing works through you, right? Okay, so I am going to pull more cards for you, Cancer, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.